Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. I guess we can call this the follow-up or part 2 on the Rough Ryder Black Reserve series of knives. I have 2 knives in the series now. This is the first one I picked up. This is the RR2566 toothpick in the black Packawood. They will also be offering this one in black smooth black bone. I can't remember the number for that, but I don't know if I'll be picking it up or not. The big difference between the smooth black bone and the Packawood, the black Packawood, is, as you can see, this is got an interesting jigging pattern going on there. Kind of like a herringbone or something, I don't know. The smooth black bone does not have any kind of pattern in it. Also, the smooth black bone has a red underlayment as opposed to the blue underlayment that you have in the black Packawood. Both will feature the same shield. This is the, I think this is the Rough Ryder 30th anniversary shield. Not 100% sure on that or not. Now, the complaint I had about this knife, and really the only complaint I had about it, was just how thick the knife is. It's a very wide knife, and as you can see, it gets wider at the bottom. And I said, well, I'll buy another knife and see how that compares, because one of the reasons this looks so thick is because it is such a small knife. It is a 3-inch frame, and I thought that if this was on like a 5-inch large toothpick, the width of this would not be nearly as problematic. In any case, I went and picked up a second knife, and that knife is the RR2562 Barehead doctor's knife. That's right, folks, a Barehead doctor's knife, which means there is no little pill crusher bottom on there. Well, at least not in the sense that we would normally have a pill crusher bottom, because what you would have here would be like a nickel silver or brass plate at the bottom that you would actually be able to crush stuff with. You do have a completely full bottom, but if you were to actually start using this, you could easily damage the Packawood here, or if there was bone, you could crack the bone. So not really a true pill crusher bottom on it, but it is flat, and I know that's not a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people just wanted a cool doctor's knife, you know, and a lot of people really are enticed by this frame. However, this knife does have 2 blades on it. It has the blades I wanted on a doctor's knife too, but once again, it is pretty thick. As you can tell there, you can see how thick the back springs are. Very thick brass liners going on there, and then you've got the blue underlayment in the black Packawood, and as you can tell, it is also something that swells as it goes to the end, so definitely a fatter bottom than the top bolster here. You can see that it's quite wide. Well, where's my ruler? I think Skip must have been over here because everything is out of place, but as you can see here, the handle is right at a 1/2 inch wide, but only about a 1/4 inch, a little over a 1/4 inch tall. So it is definitely wider than it is tall at the backside. And in the front side, you can see there, it's more like about 3/8 of an inch. So from the front to the back, it gains about 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Now, the blade choices on here are really the kind of blades that I want to see on a doctor's knife, so that is a big plus for me. You have the Spearmaster blade, does have a little bit of swedge there, and it does have the half stop. It's a nice satin finish going on with it. 448 stainless steel, nice flat grind, really nice blade. Good movement, not a strong pull, but you know, not an extremely weak pull. I know a lot of people are going to say it's too weak for them, but I think it's about right. It's probably around a 4 or so when it comes to a pull. And then the secondary blade on here is the spatula blade. and it has the proper profile, but obviously much thicker. It doesn't have any kind of flex to it or anything like that. It would have been nice to have seen it with a little bit of flex. Maybe one of these days in the future we'll see a flexible spatula on a Rough Ryder knife. And then you do have, as you can see here, full liners and spacers in here of brass, and they are not skinny. They are very thick spacers on there, which translates to a much thicker knife. And that is the complaint. That is the most common complaint I am seeing on these black reserve knives, is that they're just too thick. I don't have an answer for that. And if that's not a big deal for you, then you're really going to like these knives a lot more. It is a little problematic for me. I want to get a single bladed knife that's a little bit bigger than this one. I mean, really, you can see there, it is much thicker. Where's a doctor's knife? Here's the Rough Ryder doctor's knife. It is a 2-blade doctor's knife, but it doesn't have the spatula. This is in the tortoiseshell. You can see there, look at the difference in thickness. Look at the difference in thickness there. You know, it is definitely thicker. Also of interest, though, if you notice when you put the ends back to back, this one is thinner on the side. You know, see that? This actually stands a little taller this way, but it's not nearly as thick. So that adds even more to the illusion of the thickness of this knife. But it is really well made. You can see there's no gapping or anything going on. The action is very smooth. I have no complaint about that. You do have thicker spacers on there, and that translates into a thicker knife. There's no way around it. The blades are also probably a little thicker. I can't tell for sure, but that's really why these knives become so wide. If that's not a problem for you, then I think you're really going to like these Black Reserve knives. But that has been the biggest complaint. People have said it's a really well-built knife. They love the material. They love the way it looks and everything. But it's thick. And that's what most people have said. They wish it wasn't as thick as it is. And I have to kind of agree with that comment, but I cannot fault it for anything else. This is such a really well-made knife, and it looks gorgeous, except it could just go on a little bit of a diet. That would be my thought on it. I am going to try and pick up the locking copperhead, but I am going to have the opportunity, I think, to actually get to SMKW. And so what I want to do is try and see it in person before I buy it, because if that is also thicker than what I would like, then I'm probably going to pass on it. But I think the locking copperhead will work out pretty well. And I think that's really where I need to look at these are knives that are like, well, larger than this. This is only, I think, 3.5, maybe 3.25 inches long. Yeah, this is only 3.5 inches long. I'm thinking if I can find a knife that is about 4 inches long and a single layer in the Black Reserve, I'm really going to enjoy it. But most of the Black Reserve knives are 2-layer knives. I think if this would have been a single-bladed doctor's knife, and if it would have been about a 1/2 inch longer, I would have really loved it. But as it is, it's a really well-made, gorgeous-looking knife, but just a little too thick. That's where I'm standing with the Black Reserves at the moment. I will talk to you again soon if I get another Black Reserve knife. In the meantime, well, stick around for some slides. let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.